Hello friends, I'm Squid and I have another battle against my buddy George today. This is going to be his first ORAS battle. His name is Prodigal Legion on YouTube. I will leave a link to his channel in the description below. Please go check him out. He just started re-uploading again. And it's good to have him back. George is a very old friend of mine that I met all the way back in Team Alpha. And he asked me to be his first ORAS Wi-Fi battle, which is definitely an honor. So it's always fun battling him. Now, today we ended up just bringing a whole bunch of stuff. I brought newly bred stuff. He got a team of just stuff he wanted to use in ORAS, especially the Mega Sharpedo. Definitely one of his favorite Pokemon. But we actually ended up DCing a lot. We ended up DCing, I think, like 3 or 4 times. And we finally ended up getting the battle to finally work its way through. So, to lead off the matchup, one of my favorite leads is going to be Shocktop, my Electros. He's going to lead off with the Galvantula. Now, this is going to lead me to believe that he's definitely going to be using a sticky web team, and my team is kind of alright with that because most of my stuff is kind of slow anyway. But I'm just going to go straight up for a flamethrower, bring him all the way down to his sash, and now my first priority that I want to do is I want to switch out because I don't think he's going to stay in. His electric attacks aren't going to be super effective on me. They're actually resisted, so he's actually going to Volt Switch out, and I'm just going to go straight for a U-turn. Also, when you guys face each other more than like once with the same team, you guys kind of get to know the other person's set. So some moves were kind of based on what we know. Like I U-turned out as many times the first time we battled. I believe he went for like Bug Buzz or something and ended up just sacking off his Galvantula. But this time he's going to preserve it for later. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to be a thing at all. So I'm going to go right into Croc Me Baby. And I'm going to set up my Stealth Rocks as soon as possible to cut down that Galvantula because I don't want it to come back in. I want it to be completely diminished. He can do a little bit of work to my team, and I'm not really about that. So I'm going to set up my Stealth Rocks. Now, I know that his Sableye is Choice Scarf because in the previous game, he did end up going for a trick. Now, I'm going to end up going right into Mystery here because I do have the Sticky Hold. The Sticky Hold. Because I want to keep my item. I don't want to get rid of my leftovers. I want to be able to set up like a stock up or stockpile and then proceed to wall and work through his team with Scalds and Earth Powers and stuff like that. Now, he does end up going for the Will-O-Wisp, and the other reason I switched in to my Mystery was the fact that I do not mind having the burn being a special attacker. It does kind of suck for the fact that I am a wall and I am going to be burnt, but it's not the worst thing. It's better than having the Choice Scarf on my Magmortar, which is actually a Life Orb, and I want to keep the Life Orb just for that little bit of power. I'm okay with it not being the Choice Scarf variant. If I was, I would have made it a Choice Scarf to begin with. But he's actually going to switch out and go into his Sharpedo here after firing off his Galvantula, which is a good play on his part because that's also going to rack up a little bit of burn damage on myself. But here I figure he's not going to end up going for a Waterfall or anything. He's probably going to not protect and go for a Crunch. I know I could take at least one Crunch, especially if he doesn't Mega Evolve, because I know that my defense is not the greatest. I think it's like base 68. So I'll go for the Earth Power as he goes for the Crunch. End up getting a crit, which actually the weird thing is I crit him like I think the 3 out of 4 times that we played on his Sharpedo, which he only got to Mega like once. So that's not too great that he really didn't get to experience Mega Sharpedo at its fullest. So he actually goes into the Sableye here, tries to trick me with the Scarf, finds out that I do have the Sticky Hold, so he actually is going to be forced to switch out here because he can't just sit in here and take Scalds for literally no reason. So he's actually going to switch out into one of the biggest pains of trying to take out in the world is definitely going to be Shuckle. So he's going to bring in the Shuckle. Luckily for me, I do have the Stealth Rocks up, so it is going to end up taking 25%. And the Scald on top of that, which can do some real nice damage. No burn, but that's right. I'm at a very low amount of health. I figured he's probably just going to go for the Infestation because we were talking about this set one day, how it's like Toxic, Infestation, Rest, and I'm not sure if I remember what the last move was. But he is going to end up going for Rest here. After my Scald fails to kill, so he's going to live on like 1 HP. And for some reason lately, in all my Wi-Fi battles, both mine and theirs, a lot of Pokemon have just been living on anywhere between 1 and like 10 HP. I don't know what it is lately, but it's been making me a little anxious on going for certain attacks because I'm just not sure if it's going to kill or not. So he's going to go for the Rest. The Chesterberry is going to go off. He's going to gain all of his health back. I'm just going to go for one final effort of a Scald, try and get a burn to try and force him to rest again. It was power trick or power split, I believe. Something that cuts down or splits your attack. Now I'm just going to speed this part up because it's literally just him trapping and stalling out my Drapion. I'm going for like a combination of X scissors or cross poisons and night slashes because I'm actually running a critical hit set, kind of similar to the Absol set, where it's just like sniper, scope lens, and high critical hit ratio moves such as cross poison and night slash. So that was pretty much him just walling the hell out of me. Now I'm going to switch out here after I'm free from the infestation. He's going to go for a power split, and I figured that infestation won't work on things that have volt switch and U-turn. I have some that has U-turn, which is going to be my Electro, so I'm going to go for a U-turn, predicting the infestation, but it turns out he's actually going to end up going for the power split as I switch in. And now as I go for the U-turn out, he's going to go for the infestation and trap me again, which really sucks because now I'm stuck in here. And as you saw before, I really couldn't even touch this thing, or as you may have saw before, it was really sped up because it was literally just him walling me. So as a last ditch effort, I live on 1 HP. I'm just going to go for a cross poison, try and get a crit or some kind. Well, the crit, as you see, I get there, but it really doesn't do much. I was more or less trying to go for a poison, but it really wouldn't have mattered anyway because he ends up pulling out a rest and he is going to get all of his health back. And then I am going to dodge the following turn as the infestation is going to end up taking me out. And now I got to think, he's asleep right now. What is one of my most powerful Pokemon right now where I could try and 3-hit KO this? Because I only have so many turns that he's going to be asleep. So I'm going to go into Shock Top. My Electros, I'm just going to start firing off some Thunderbolts, hoping that I could 3-hit KO. And by that damage, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So really my best bet, I really don't have too much to do here. Because now that my Drapion is gone, he is going to be able to Toxic Stall and Infestation Stall me. And I'm not really trying to be about that. Like, I can U-turn out when he does get the Infestation, but the Toxic's going to rack up. And I really would like to keep the bulk of Electros for later on in the battle. So he's going to end up going for the power split. I don't want to stay in. I'm just going to go for the U-turn, and I want to get out. Now he's at a very low amount of health. So now at this point, I'm like, all right, he's revengeable range. He's not going to be able to pull off any kind of arrest or anything. I'm going to go into Nitro, and now I actually carry Lava Plume on my Nitro, or my Magmortar, because I know that Magmortar forces switch, especially being known as a Scarf set so often, or even a Spec set. It forces switches in general. I figured if I could force a switch and it has a 30% to burn, why not take that chance? So I end up going for the Lava Plume here. It is going to end up taking out the Shuckle, which is literally, you don't fuck with Shuckle because that thing is just a monster and will completely wall your team if you don't have the correct way of dealing with it, which I barely even had a correct way here. I kind of just got lucky, went for the power split, and I U-turned out on it. So he's going to go into his Nidoking here, and I know that Nidoking is going to outspeed me, so I don't want to stand against it. So I'm going to switch out because I feel that my Magmortar is going to be useful for later on in the battle as well. And I do have a good switch into this, which is going to be my Chestnut, because if he wants to go for the Earth Power, not only do I resist it, but I also have the Assault Vest on because I like to run more of an offensive Chestnut. And he ends up going for the Sludge Bomb, and because of my ability, Bulletproof, I'm completely immune to that. So he's going to have to fire off a Flamethrower. I'm going to be able to eat that up because of the Assault Vest and retaliate with an Earthquake, being able to take out such a humongous threat, which was even worse because I ended up getting rid of my Special Wall and Mystery, and because in the other battles, Mystery did a really nice job at walling it. But unfortunately, this game, I let it just go down. So he's actually going to switch into his Sandshrew, or his, not his Sandshrew, his Sandslash here, and end up going for a knockoff, knocking off my Assault Vest, which is okay with me because now I really have no purpose for it, because all that's left on his team is going to be the Sandslash and his Sableye. Now, him predicting my Drain Punch, he's actually going to switch out into his Sableye here, and I actually figured it's no real reason for me to go to Drain Punch anymore. I can just go for Seed Bomb, because Drain Punch was doing alright damage, but I have a super effective move right here, so why not? And I will be able to go for the Seed Bomb, take out the Sableye. Now all he has left is going to be his Sandslash, and from here on out, I will be able to take whatever hit he wants. Knockoff won't be doing that much. I do resist the Earthquake, and I will be able to go for a super effective Seed Bomb to end up taking him out, and that is going to end up being the game. George, good game, buddy. Always enjoy playing you. I will leave his link in the description below. Like I said before, he is starting to re-upload now and start getting back into the groove of things. So definitely go check him out. If you like his content, you know, subscriptions, that's always an option. But that's pretty much going to be it today. And I will leave you with the final Seed Bomb to end the matchup. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I always do. And stay tuned for more ORAS more ORAS battles, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.